This is another reading of Mehera-Meher. Um, there's a great picture of Baba
Yes, it
uh,
is.
sporting his,
His mind.
I guess his cut off, I think they said they cut off his um, bottoms um, at the knee last time we read. Yeah, to be more comfortable. Um, so these would normally be down to his ankles. And he's sporting kind of European slippers.
Yeah.
The style, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
and
that's a beautiful.
this is at Guru Prasad.
Yeah. And you know, they
Uh,
put a stone into that thing so it will balance, so he could put his pressure.
yeah, many of us do that actually.
What?
Have walkers.
Yeah.
Many of us aged folks have walkers to um, with little wheels on them to.
Yeah, but I don't think at that time there were any things like that, you know?
Yeah, I guess this is an actual wheelchair, a full maybe a folding wheelchair. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it actually. But it could be something that Donkin did, you know? He's a he was very good at doing these things.
So we're starting from page 195.
Just enlarge, please.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Baba said, "All right," and Khorshid lit it.
What did he do?
That's fireworks. A thunderous roar stunned and momentarily deafened them as flying sparks and bits of debris rained upon them. They shouted and scurried to get back into the apartment. Instead of a fountain, that firework was supposed to be a fountain, it turned out to be an atom bomb, a cherry bomb. Baba lambasted Khorshid. I said enough, but you wouldn't listen to me. But the man told me it was a fountain, Khorshid said, feeling guilty. It looked like a fountain. Baba joked. Did you see Sunamasi? You all think she is so old and has a heart condition. All of you were running here and there, but she didn't even bat an eye. There's no need to worry about her health, he reassured Khorshid. She has a very strong heart. She'll live for a long time.
Sunamasi is Khorshid's mother.
And let's see, I think there's a side note that we can reread.
Oh,
Baba's prediction
so
proved
why don't you make the text a
correct.
bit smaller?
Sunabase died on 3 April 1973, her 89th birthday.
Can you make the text a bit smaller so I could see that there was a side thing?
Well, I was just remembering it from last week.
Oh, okay.
So we just repeated what we just read for last week. Baba and the women were driven back to Ahmednagar on Saturday, 2 November. At Merazad, Baba now walked to Mandalay Hall in the morning, sometimes using canes. Mera and Goher accompanied him. Baba held Mera's hand for support, Meru recalled. Then, just before reaching the back door of the hall, Mera stood near the tamarind tree, and Baba, just before entering, turned and waved to her. Despite the messages in Bombay, Baba's hip, I mean, sorry, despite the massages in
Mm.
Bombay, Baba's hip continued to trouble him. The doctor's treatment did not work, even 1%, Mani wrote to Irene, but Baba didn't seem to give it a thought. So the true reason for going to Bombay must have been some inner work. A different treatment was started with Harry Kenmore, a blind American chiropractor, arrived on 5 November. Harry had met Baba the previous year, and he stayed at Meherazad for a month and tried to alleviate Baba's pain. Dr. Kenmore has come, Mani wrote. His method of working is simply fascinating, and he certainly knows what he is doing. Baba called the women to Mondley Hall once to watch Harry adjust him on the low table that had been kept there for that purpose. Kenmore explained what he was doing as he laid Baba in the proper position and did some adjustments. Baba didn't seem to care for that kind of treatment, Mehra observed, and Kenmore's adjustments, too, did not help much. But, as Mehra explained, Baba didn't even wish to be operated on, but wanted his hip to be left like it was. So, how could Harry make it well again? He couldn't do much good. Later, it was the same with Dr. Ben Heyman, who was an osteopath. He massaged Baba's neck, but it didn't help much. The sidebar says Mehra did not observe Ben Heyman work on Baba, as the Mandali were present. On 5 December 1957, however, Baba called Mehra upstairs to his room to watch him exercise on a stationary bicycle that had been placed there. Baba looked so sweet sitting on the cycle, pedaling away, Mehra recalled. Baba did the cycling exercise every morning at 10 a.m. for some days, along with other exercises. Kenmore recommended that Baba's feet should not rest on any hard surface, since it was not good for the bones. He suggested that a soft cushion be placed under Baba's feet whenever Baba sat on the edge of his bed or in Mondley Hall. The women themselves then made a soft pink cushion, and it was kept in Baba's bedroom by his bed. The cushion was prepared from cotton wool, gathered from their own plants growing at Meherabad. The sidebar says each year thereafter a small amount of cotton was gathered and kept in case they ever needed more. Seated on the veranda, they cleaned the cotton of seeds in the afternoon. While Baba was with the men in Mondley Hall, Baba always rested his feet on this cushion, Mehra said. That is why we kiss it, in memory of his lovely lotus feet. Would you like to continue, Mikal?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Every evening, Kenmore went for a walk from 4:30 to 5 p.m. and then took baths, mud dunking, as he called the Indian method of bathing. Usually, Mani would be reading to Baba in his room upstairs. One day at 5:30, Baba stopped reading, saying that he wished to rest. The women unfolded his mosquito curtain. Baba lay down, and the women quietly left the room. Just then, Kenmore went for his bath and started singing loudly. Lullaby and good night boomed out from his bathroom. The women thought it ironic that Baba wished to rest, so I can't say because You have to put it up. Okay, thank you. The woman thought it ironic that Baba wished to rest, but could not because of Harry, who was singing a lullaby. Mera became so anxious that she sent Goer inside to tell Bao to ask Baba whether they should tell Harry not to sing. And in the sidebar, in later years, Bao unfolded the mosquito net and turned down Baba's bed. What does it mean, turn down Baba's bed? In later years, Bao unfolded the mosquito net and turned down Baba's bed. Okay.
Um,
Bab,
uh, yeah, turn down. Did you ask what it means? Turn
yes,
down in
yes.
bed. Yeah,
Uh,
that's an English expression for just
making the
making
bed.
bed.
Okay.
Yeah, or
Okay.
yeah.
Mm. It's interesting that they didn't go directly to Harry to tell him to stop because Baba was sleeping. They went to Bao to ask Baba whether to tell him. That's very, very beautiful that they didn't do anything without his order and his consulting with him. Baba called them. You wish to rest and be quiet, Mera said, but Harry is singing so loudly it must be disturbing you. Let it be, Baba told her. He did not mind being disturbed as long as Harry was happy. Baba put up with it, and Harry did not realize his singing was bothering Baba. Once, when Harry was in the living room of the main house with Baba and the Mandali, Baba instructed the Mandali to go into his bedroom and he told Harry to remain. Goher was present. Well, I have to read that again. Once, when Harry was in the living room of the main house with Baba and the Mandali, Baba instructed the Mandali to go into his bedroom and he told Harry to remain. Goher was present and was instructed to bring Mera home. Harry then spoke to Baba about his hip. Baba told Mera that she could talk to Harry, as she had done with Will Bucket. Mera spoke as if she were speaking about Harry and herself in the third person, not directly. I didn't sit and gossip with him, Mera elaborated. When Baba called me, Harry said hello, and I answered a few words. It meant so much to him. It perhaps was meant to increase his feeling for Baba. See how Baba loves me, he must have thought. No other man had been allowed to talk with me, but Baba permitted Harry, who, being blind, could not see her. On the 20th December, Baba, along with the women, returned to Bombay. Was returned to Bombay to give darshan. They stayed again at Ashiana. Mera's 50th birthday was celebrated here on the 24th, and Christmas the following day. They returned to Merazad on the 26th. Preparations were underway for two large Indian Sahavas programs at Mehrabad in February. Before the Sahavas began, Baba decided to relax in Bombay for a week. He was driven back there with the women on the 21st January 1958, staying again at Ashiana. This time, Baba did not give darshan or see many of his lovers. The 26th was Republic Day, and the night before, Baba and all went for a drive to see the decorative lights. Each house was very beautiful, Mara related. Victoria Terminus was lit up outside with tiny, tiny bulbs around it. We saw from afar. It was gorgeous. It looked like a palace. On the 26th, Mani wrote to Irene, we are having a very happy time at Arnavaz's. Though very quiet compared to the last festival one. Anubas always takes us to the pictures when we are here, and we were hoping there would be a special good one this time. This is, well, we'll soon be seeing. This is, we'll soon be seeing the Ten Commandments. Today is Republic Day and city is lighted. Last evening we drove in a queue for cars for 2.5 hours past the gaily dressed crowds. Baba came to with a mandali, our car following his. On the whole, darling Baba does not seem to be keeping well. I mean, apart from his hip pain, but it seems much more to do with his inner work than physical. We try not to think of the cloud, though that very effort proves its presence is with us all the time. It makes one feel helpless, for there is nothing we can do except surrendering to his will, concerning ourselves only with obeying him and loving him more and more. As Manny mentioned, Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments with was Charlton Charleston Charlton Heston
Charlton Heston. Yeah, he was a
Heston. Yeah,
huge star in the 50s and
yeah,
60s.
I remember him. I thought his name was Charleston with an S, so that's
Oh,
why.
Charlton. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
interesting variation on the name
Hmm.
Charles.
Okay. So Charlton Heston was playing at the Regal Cinema, The Ten Commandments, and none of us took the women to see it on Tuesday, 28 January. Dina and Perviz Talati accompanied them. Baba had seen it 4 days before with a mandali. Although Baba and the men left halfway at intermission or before, when Moses speaks with God through the burning bush on Mount Sinai, he liked and praised the film. So there's Mehera and Baba whether Mehera asked Baba whether Moses was an avatar, and Baba replied no. Moses was a true seeker of the sixth plane, but Abraham was an avatar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So
Because
three days. Hmm? What?
that
Abraham.
that mantram or whatever you want to call it, names of God,
Yeah.
Hari Paramatama.
Allah, Allah,
Uh,
he has done a whole,
yeah,
but did not mention him. The Baba
the,
says that he is
hold it,
the.
hold it. Let me finish. The second verse does say um, Jesus and Moses.
Oh, I see what you mean. No,
Yeah, yeah, the
I
second
thought
verse.
you were talking about Abraham. Baba says that Abram was the seventh avatar of the previous cycle. Okay,
Oh,
and
interesting.
then the cycle started with Zoroaster.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Hmm.
So 3 days before, Dina's son Khorshid had died in London of a heart attack at the age of 29.
And here we have the.
That picture, yeah. So Dina Talati, her daughter Perviz, is the one who was married to the previous chairman of the trust, so the last chairman of the trust before Falu.
So this picture is titled "Exercising at Guru Prasad, May 1957." Photo by Mani.
It's a beautiful photo, really beautiful.
Wonder who that is in the mirror. That might be Mani, or
No,
it could
that's
be
Baba with
Mara.
his. No, it's Baba
Oh, you think
with
it's
his.
Baba? Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be.
it's his
Yeah,
braid, back
yeah,
braid.
his yeah, interesting. Now, who are these
Mm,
babes?
that's beautiful. That's Rama. The second from the right is Rama. Is Baba's Bauchi's wife. Let's see. Beautiful here. Rama Kalchuri, yeah. So, Mehrabad, 19th February 1958, standing Hamirpur devotees. Pushpa Kalchuri, Bau's niece. Rama Kalchuri, Subhadra Kumar.
Let's take another look at them.
Yeah, so this is his niece on her right, or in the middle. Either one, we don't know. And this is Rama. She looks very beautiful here. Very beautiful picture.
1958, February.
Mm-hmm. 1926, the harvest programs.
Oh, that
Mer-
says chapter 126.
yeah, chapter 126, the harvest programs. Meher Baba returned to Mehrabad on 1st February 1958. Throughout that month, he was driven back and forth to Mehrabad for two Sahavas programs. Mehera and the women did not learn much about what transpired until later. In the evenings, when Baba returned from the Sahavas programs, Mehera explained, he would be so tired. There was not much talk, not much report of what had gone on in Mehrabad. Um, on the side note, it says the two 4 day Sahavas were divided according to the languages. The first for Hindi Marathi speakers, and the second for those who spoke either Telugu or Gujarati. Baba permitted Kumar and his wife Subhadra to attend both Sahavas. Also, one of the women in the picture is Subhadra. And so Baba permitted Kumar and his wife Subhadra to attend. Can you show the picture again? I just want to see. Can you show the picture again?
Oh, let's just keep going from now on, please.
Mm. Baba permitted his wife Subhadra to attend both Sahavas programs. During the Sahavas period, Subhadra went to Mehrabad and stayed in a tent with the other attendees. In between, before the start of the second Sahavas, she remained at Mirazad with the women Mandali. The women were taken to Mehrabad on 20th, before the start of the second Sahavas. She remained at Merazad with the women Mandali. The women were taken to Mehrabad on 20th, before the second group of invitees arrived, and Baba showed them the temporary camp, tents, and other arrangements. They returned on the 26th to witness Baba waving goodbye to a special train carrying his lovers to their homes. Mera and the other women watched from their car parked at Upper Mehrabad as Baba stood nearby waving to those departing. Baba had also agreed to give darshan in May to his Western lovers in America. For the 2 months before his departure, Baba went to Pune and Mahabaleshwar with the women. They left Meherazad on 19th March and stayed at Ganesh Kind. Nadja and Ranul were at Bindra House as usual. On 21st March, Daddy's brother Sam Kerawala married his cousin Roshan Sasa. Neither Baba nor the women attended the wedding, but the following evening a Kawali program was held in the morning. The
Uh,
Bombay
uh, when you get to the end of a sentence, stop. You
good
know,
idea.
pause for just a little second. Yeah.
Good
You're
idea.
kind of like a train who just,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm rushing to Baba. Neither Baba nor the women attended the wedding, but the following evening a Kawali program was held. In the morning, the Bombay people had come, Mera related. Baba went to the Mandali and we took the Bombay women into the garden. Grapes were in season. We had started eating them when the message came that Baba wanted a Bombay group. A film was to be shown that Sam had taken. It was of Mehrabad and Merazad and home movies from Pune. Baba wanted us all to be inside the cottage. In the evening, a Kawali was held in the cottage next to ours. Food came from the wedding, mutton pulao, ice cream also. From 5 p.m., the Kawali started. We were listening in the side room while Baba was in the room with the men. Pune was uncomfortably hot that summer, so Baba drove to Mahabaleshwar on 23rd March, where a house on top of the hill, Shapur Hall, had been rented. Baba stayed in Mahabaleshwar for a month with Mera, Mani, Meru, Goher, and Rano. Eruch, Bau, and Savak also went, and Adi Sr. met them there. Shapur Hall was nice and big, Mera said, describing the bungalow. The front room had large glass windows overlooking a valley of thick forest. There was a big terrace at the back, from where you could see the lake and golf course. The sky was misty blue. It was a strange atmosphere. I called Mani to look at the sun setting over the mountains. The moon was lovely and pinkish. We kept a nice chair with cushions at the dining table for Baba. He had tea here and then came out through the tiny drawing room. The front room was beautiful, a lovely oval-shaped room with large bay windows. There was a nice view. Baba had all the windows shut. He was with the mandali there during the correspondence. After that, a little before eating, he played a game of cards with the mandali. We were always inside. Our food came from outside. Some Kerala had given us a movie camera to take some shots here. Though we had it, we didn't use it because Baba was not walking much. Otherwise, he used to take such nice long walks in Mabaleshwar. We didn't feel like going anywhere when he couldn't walk. We never went out of the house, not to the garden either, always inside. We did a bit of stitching and reading and passed our time. Mary recalled reading aloud to Baba in Mabaleshwar on this trip or earlier visit, or an earlier visit, when Mani had a cough or cold, one of the very times Meru did this. Although they did not go for walks, several times they went out on drives. On the 29th, they visited Pratapgarh, Garh, Garh, the hill fort of the famous Maratha warrior King Shivaji. Baba had gone there the day before. One day, Baba took us in a car to Florence Hall, where they had stayed previously, which Baba told us had been renovated and was being sold to a Christian seminary. We got down. Baba didn't walk around with us. It was nicely decorated. Added on were a chapel and a large general dining room near the Mandali's side. We went on to the small cottage where Baba was in seclusion in 1947. The person showing us around was very obliging. We saw the valley from the terrace. We didn't go straight home from here. We drove further through the thick forest. We stopped the car at one point where there was an opening and we could see the valley. We had a look, turned, and drove back home. In Mabaleshwar, Baba had changed their meal timings. They were to eat one full meal a day. Lunch was to be at 1 instead of noon. And in place of dinner, they were to have bread and butter with tea. That change of schedule somehow upset Mera's health. When they returned from their drive, Mera felt giddy. She thought it was hunger and ate some sweets they had brought from Pune. She drank water, but it only made her feel worse, and she vomited. Whether it was drinking water on top of the week-old sweets or walking around in the sun, she felt quite ill. Because of his hip injury, Baba made his way from his bedroom to the dining room very slowly. He usually never went inside their rooms. But that evening, Baba came and sat by Mera's bed. As soon as I lay down on the pillow, Mera said, the giddiness came back. I wanted to sit up. All right, Baba said, sit up. Goher came and went trying to give me soothing pills. I thought it was getting too late and Baba would feel tired, so I told him I was feeling better. Baba, go and rest, Mera said. I will rest also. Are you sure? Baba asked, with concerned expression. Yes, Baba. He left, and after 10 minutes, Mera was able to lie down, exhausted from walking and becoming sick. In the morning, she was fine. Mani described Mabaleshwar to Irene in this letter of 3rd April. Ranu and Nadja also became ill during their stay at Mabaleshwar. So the
Might have been
letter
might
to
have been the
Irene,
food or the water. Yeah.
yeah, or something, sometimes they're sick because of Baba, carrying his sickness, helping him. So Mani is writing to Irene on 3rd April. We are staying at Shapur Hall, an old big house having a heavenly view. To the east are the lake and golf course. To the west, we see Konya Valley, a bit of Elphinstone Point, Patapgarh, and Pratapgarh. We visited yesterday morning to see the statue of Shivaji put up recently, which was unveiled and garlanded by Nehru. But in another sense, it is quite a different Mabaleshwar than our previous stay. For now, of course, beloved Baba cannot walk, and we naturally don't go for walks either. Arnavas has left her little car at Baba's disposal. So once in a while, we go out with Baba for a drive in the mornings. But oh, it is so different from taking those long, carefree walks. Kohiyar Satrawala made the rental house possible for us. We gave very little, and he'll make up the rest by running it as a sort of hotel in May after we leave. I was there. I visited that place. Pimplegown is already so warm that we were happy it was possible to get this place here. On the other hand, it was startlingly cold here when we first came. There were rains and icy cold winds the first few days, and we spent most of the time through the window cracks and seeing to the window cracks and banging doors, particularly after Baba retired, when there must be absolute silence, as you remember. As you know, we like the cold if it is not windy and drafty. The main thing, of course, is that it doesn't help Baba's hip any. So we were quite prepared to pack up and leave when it cleared up. Now it's mostly nice, thank goodness. Then, too, within the week, most of us had to take to bed with fever and whatnot, but all are nearly okay now. Yes, though the harvest went most beautifully, it was naturally a great strain on Baba's physically, sorry, as was seen by the hip pain reaction that followed. Good Friday fell on 4th April, and that morning Baba decided to drive to Udatra, the site of his second automobile accident. The Mandali went with him. After packing slowly up and down the road for a few minutes, Baba returned to Mabaleshwar. He retired early by 5:30 p.m. to his bedroom, which was near the dining room. As Mani wrote, the women were not to make a sound. At sunrise on Easter Sunday, Gohara heard some noise, looked out behind the bungalow, and saw a group of Western members of the mission church kneeling in prayer during an outdoor service. She came and told Mera and the others. It was a beautiful sight, Mera remembered. Baba was sleeping next door and heard their hymns and prayers, but the Christians did not know it. Arnavaz and Katie joined the women in mid-April for 5 days, and later Khorshid On the 27th, Meherji's daughter, Meher-Naz and Perveen, came for 2 days. Baba returned to Pune on 30th April, staying this time at Guru Prasad. His visit to Mahabaleshwar in 1958 was to be his last. Mehra wrote about the return to Pune in a letter to Billy Eaton on 5 May. We did not feel the heat much on the way, as there had been a hailstorm in Mahabaleshwar. When we were nearing Pune, Baba, holding his hand out of the car window, was glad to find the air was not at all hot. Baba felt the journey. He patted his hip to say that it hurt him. I think, Billy, you will feel fine and great change in Baba this time. I mean, it looks and ways. I mean, in looks and ways. I mean, in looks and ways. As I write this, my eyes fill with tears to think how energetic and active he used to be. For so long, he has been confined to a chair and also has not been well most of the time. And lately, he has felt much weaker too. His diet is very poor, as his digestion is weak from many fasts, and the fact that now he can't move about freely does not help any. We are hoping the journey round the world will not be difficult anyway for him. Billy dear, the time will come for us all to be really happy with beloved among us, strong and active, his own sweet self again. Our Baba is the great Maha. Maha is great, modern avatar. That this comes from A Love So Amazing, page 53. Baba remained at Guru Prasad for 2 weeks before leaving for America. A darshan was held there on Sunday, 4th May, and in attendance was the owner of the palace, the Maharani Shanta Devi of Baroda. It was the Rani's first meeting with Baba, and
Well, that's
also,
interesting, isn't it? I mean, they've been staying there at Guru Prasad and had never met her.
yeah,
Fascinating. Yeah.
yeah, it's really amazing, and how she gave it to him is really it's just amazing. It was the Rani's first meeting with Baba, and also the first time she met Mera and the other women. During her meeting with Baba, he informed Shanta Devi, I never remain alone. During the daytime, the Mandali are with me. When I go, when I go to the women, they attend to me. At night, there is always one night watchman with me, so I am never alone. And he's stressing that because, so there won't be any talk about him and Mera, you know, and Mera was never alone either. In India, it is not uncommon for supposedly spiritual gurus and yogis to become involved with their female followers. The Rani, being new to Baba, must have been having such thoughts, which Baba addressed immediately to make it absolutely clear to her. He even added about Mera. Mera is the purest of the pure. She never has any lustful thought. She is so pure that I love her above all others and call her my beloved. Devani realized that Baba knew everything, and she became his devoted follower. Though she was a queen, Mera commented, the Maharani was always humble with us. She never acted like she was a Maharani. Over the next few years, whenever Baba stayed at Guru Prasad, he allowed Shantadevi, if she was in Pune, to come for darshan. Later, when Mera and the other women knew her better, the Maharani asked Mera whether they needed a refrigerator during their stay, and Mera said it would not be necessary. I thought this woman was being so gracious to give us the use of the bungalow. It wouldn't look good if we asked for a fridge too. I told Baba about it afterward, and he said, Good, you said no. So, on the side note, the Rani of Baroda later confided to Mera and the other women that her husband Pratap Singh Gikwad of profligate wastrel. What's a
Wait,
wastrel?
a wastrel, like he wastes money,
Oh, okay.
maybe gambling
Okay. Had,
or on
had
wild
taken
women.
a second wife in 1943, abandoned the Rani in India with their 8 children and moved to Monte Carlo. Wow, I never knew that.
Hmm.
Mm, okay. So, where are we? I told Baba afterward, and he said, good that you said no. Another member of the Indian royalty whom they met was the Rani of Kurunawad, Kurundwad. She too was a sweet-natured woman. She was a bit deaf and spoke so softly that we had to bend close to hear her. Baba had once visited her palace in Kolhapur. The Rani narrated how Baba had passed through the room where she was resting. She had not been well, but Baba smiled and reassured her that would soon recover. She never forgot how radiant and magnificent he looked. The women Mandali returned to Merazad for one night on 6th May, where Mera packed Baba's suitcase for this trip. Baba left by car for Bombay on the 15th, from where he was to fly to America late that night. He allowed Mera and the other women Mandali to accompany him to Ashiana to wish him farewell, after which they were to return to Merazad. As mentioned, Mera was not feeling sad over remaining in India. She knew it would be too difficult for Baba to take her and the other women back to the West. And in 1958, his hip was hurt, she pointed out, which made traveling even more difficult for him. So, on the side note, Manu Jasawala had been permitted to accompany the women to Bombay and stayed there with them until they returned to Merazad. Ashiana, Arnavaz and Nariman's apartment in Bombay, is located on the second floor. And after the second accident, Baba had to be carried in a chair up and down the staircase. Although the apartment is not large, the men and women mandali were always kept separate. If the woman had to go down the stairs, the men were made to wait outside, away from the door. It was therefore surprising to Mani when they reached the apartment and Baba called her near, while Erich was sitting next to him by the desk. Erich. Erich has never heard the song Begin the Begin, Baba said. Sing it for him. I never spoken to the man, Mani thought, and I have to sit next to him and sing for him? Wow. Wow, I didn't know I didn't know they didn't meet each other till that 58. Wow.
Whoops. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, how did you get?
I,
That's 56.
where am I? Oh, I somehow jumped
Yeah.
multiple pages.
Beautiful pictures now. If you get to that picture that I asked to see, please stop for a minute. I want to take a photocopy of it.
Sure, we can go back to it when we're.
Okay.
Uh, well, where am I?
You're coming close.
Yep.
Yeah, not that one. This one. Can you stop there?
Let's see. We're getting close. Sorry, folks, I hit the wrong key and off we went on.
Okay, okay, you're getting close. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, here.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
So Baba is calling Mani to sing to Eruch and introducing her to Eruch for the first time. I've never spoken to the man, Mani thought, and I have to sit next to him and sing for him. Eruch was sitting stoically, staring straight ahead. He could not have cared less, Mani remembered. He was sitting as if he had been carved out of rock. She began singing into his ear, as it were. There was no expression on Eruch's face to indicate whether Mani was singing well, and as Mani said, Eruch could not have seemed less interested. At least if he had shown some expression, it would have helped me feel less awkward. When Mani finished, Baba told her that she had sung it well. Nice, isn't it? Nice, isn't it? He remarked to Eruch. He asked Eruch how he liked it, and Eruch said, "It was a good song." Mani left the room, having no idea what Baba had asked her to sing, why Baba had asked her to sing the song, or why Eruch had been so unresponsive. It was not until years later that Mani learned the reason. As it turned out, Baba had told Eruch that if he had, that if he, oops, wait, I lost, yeah, that if he dropped his body, if at all possible, his body should be brought back and interned at Meherabad, and the song Begin the Begin should be played. When Eruch said that he was not familiar with the song, Baba called Mani to sing it. Remember, Baba reiterated, if I drop my body, it is to be brought to the tomb at Meherabad, and at the first opportunity, see that the song is played there. Someone should sing it, or the record should be played. Therefore, Eruch, can you, something happened to my text. Can you put it up?
oh, it's there. Um,
But I can't see it. I don't know
uh,
why.
yeah, and you're frozen. Let me continue
Yes,
from
please
here,
do.
okay?
Yeah,
Thank you
please
so
do.
much, Mikal.
Thank
That
you.
yeah, that was awesome with pausing after
Yeah,
sentences. Yeah,
thank you.
because takes us a moment to process.
Hmm.
Remember, Baba reiterated, if I drop my body, it is to be brought to the tomb at Meherabad. At the first opportunity, see that this song is played there. Someone should sing it, or the record should be played. Therefore, Erich was doubly solemn, thinking about Baba dropping his body and trying to remember the words so that he could track down a copy of the song if need be. So that explains why Erich was like a
Yeah.
stone. He was very serious and
Yeah, but it's also the first, communication between them, and then they became such good friends.
so the sidebar says Erich perhaps had not heard the song earlier when it was sung at Ashiana by the street singer with the ukulele, or Erich had not been paying close enough attention then. Although Baba permitted his Bombay lovers to see him off at Santa Cruz Airport, Mara and the other women said their goodbyes at Ashiana, and Arnavaz stayed with them. Before leaving, Baba said that they could stay. I'll come back to that side note. They could stay on in Bombay for a few days after he left, before returning to Meherazad. Arnavaz subsequently took the women round the city to Victoria Gardens, the aquarium, and other interesting places. And the sidebar says Victoria Gardens was where Baba had been slapped during the period of his coming down to normal gross consciousness. Hmm.
Yeah, and read the above asterisks.
So, referring back to the incident about begin the begin and Erich looking like a stone, Mani is exaggerating a bit. For example, in 1955, when they were staying in Satara, Mani had to have a wisdom tooth extracted in Pune, and Erich drove her there. On the way, she and Erich had a long discussion about points Baba had dictated for God Speaks. Erich would also describe to Mani darshan programs, and must trips, which she would relay in her letters to the Westerners.
So they had more contact.
Yeah, more than she first said.
And she was, I think, one of the typists of the God Speaks. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Nagu came to see the women at Ashiana, bringing something new, a long playing 33 and a third RPM phonograph record. They had always played 78 RPM records at Meherazad and had never heard this new format. Everyone crowded around excitedly. Mani carefully placed the record on the record player. Listen and no talking, she warned. The needle went down and out came the sound of jabbering chipmunks. They doubled up in laughter. After adjusting the speed, they listened again. Baba was out of the country for 25 days, traveling first to America and then to Australia. Mara was worried that his hip would bother him from the long hours seated in the plane. During the Sahavas program held in Myrtle Beach, Baba spoke about Mara. Harry Kenmore had been to India, and Baba said, Harry has a very good heart. He is 100% for Baba and is the only man to know to whom Mara was permitted to speak for 5 minutes. I have not permitted Mara to speak to any man. Harry, what did you feel about Mara? Harry replied, Mara radiates love and purity. I felt she was the exact feminine counterpart of Baba. Mara had sent gifts to about 20 of Baba's female Western devotees, those she had met previously or corresponded with. Baba distributed these at his house one afternoon. 2 days previously, 23 May 1958, Baba had referred to this meeting as Mara's work. So no doubt the gifts had added unfathomable significance. In my love, first comes Mara and then Mani, he told the group. Mara is my beloved. The sidebar says Darwin Shaw as only God can love. Myrtle Beach, Shariar Foundation, 2003, page 456. Another day, he remarked, that's Baba remarked, Mara loves me very much. She loves me as I ought to be loved. Later, he told the Australians, Mara is the purest of women. Joanna Bruford, 17, was among those Australian women to receive a gift. Much later, she described her experience. Baba's eyes would sparkle as he was telling us about the women in India. He told us about the roles of Mera and Mani and the purity of Mera, which to me was a completely new idea. I had no idea of who Mera was or what the concept of Mera was. He made us, the women here before him, in such a relaxed and intimate way, feel that we were also sisters with those women in India. It opened a book on the sisterhood of women to me. And there's a sidebar saying John A. Grant, Practical Spirituality, 1985, page 114. One of those at Myrtle Beach who received a gift from Mara was a newcomer named Jane Haynes. I recall so clearly, Jane related, Baba gesturing one day with a wide sweep of his arms. I love all here, but I love Mara most of all. Baba always referred to Mara as the purest of the pure, as though giving an example to all womanhood. Jane and Elizabeth were especially happy to witness Baba go to the beach and place his feet in the Atlantic Ocean. Jane recalled the story Elizabeth had told her of when Elizabeth was in India and had seen Baba putting his hands in a river. Baba had turned to Elizabeth and said, "It is very rare that the master will put his hands or his feet in the water, for then he has nearly always to work a miracle." Elizabeth herself wondered again what Baba was forestalling by placing his feet in the Atlantic, as he had done in 1952. The sidebar says, telegram from Mara to Ella Winterfeld, Pune, 13 June 1958. Inform all beloved Baba arrived, happy with the love of his Western lovers, and gave me the love from all you dear women disciples. My love to each of you Baba Gopis. So, Elizabeth herself wondered again what Baba was forestalling by placing his feet in the Atlantic as he had done in 1952. Baba returned to India on 8 June at 7 p.m. Bao and the women Mandali had arrived in Bombay 2 days before to meet him. This time also, though almost 1,000 lovers greeted Baba vociferously at the airport, Mera and the other women waited for him at Ashiana. Baba stayed in Bombay for 2 days and then at Ganeshkind in Pune for 4 days more before returning to Meherazad. From the day Meher Baba returned to India in June 1958, from what proved to be his final journey to the West, never again would Mera be separated from her Lord and Master. For more than 10 years, Baba never spent another day away from his beloved. Mehera saw Baba now every day for the rest of his life. Beautiful picture of Baba and the group at uh, Myrtle Beach, Mayor Center, Myrtle Beach, 1958, with Nariman, Erich, and Ned Foote. And the sidebar says, Letter from Mani to Western Lovers, 1617 June 1958. The Jessawala family was hoping Baba would stay longer in Pune till the much delayed monsoon breaks, thus making it cooler in Nagar. But Baba said, despite the heat, he would come to Pimplegown, for he has much work to wind up before July 10th. To roll up the carpet, as he put it, in completion of his Sahavas work in the East and the West. Baba spoke so lovingly of you all and said, even now I am there. Baba with those short crutches at Guru Prasad, May 1957. The photographer is Milan. So he's wearing his cut off shorts. This is a good place to pick up next week. Chapter 127, page 207.